Okay, today we're going to do the Cold War, the beginning of Cold War. So Xingchen and Hao Rui, you just sit back and relax and go through because you guys will be using it next year. So Rui Chen and Yi Chen, you'll be having your this Cold Wars, Korean War, and CMC and start of Cold Wars exam, right? Please on your camera, guys. Thank you. Hao Rui also, please. Thank you. Right, yeah, thanks for your nodding of your head, suit and knowledge. Now you can just say a thumbs up if you can. Okay, so we're going to start now. Thank you. What is two? Oh, one. Okay, sorry. I'm using extended monitor, so just give me a while first. I want to open up the file now. Okay, what do you see? Okay, so what do you see, guys? Is it the lesson 17, that one? Yes, Ethan. Right? Rui Chen? Yes, okay, thank you. So we're going to talk about to what extent the ideology played a role during the Cold War and how did the Cold War affect Europe, and has mentioned that what's the Berlin blockage as well as Truman's doctrine and Marshall plans, and of course the Yalta Conference and Potsdam's Conference. So we give you more details on that as well. So first and foremost, let's go through. These are the topics tonight that we are going to cover. So hopefully can help you for your this tomorrow or whichever day you're having exam soon. So as we know that World War II started on 1st of September in 1939 to World War II ended at 2nd of September. So it's like 6 years of this war. Okay, so it's kind of very long. It's like now we are fighting the COVID, coming to 2 years really, 1 year plus. Hopefully it can end by this year. So, okay, let's move on to the next slide. Okay, how did World War II ended? Okay, World War II ended with unconditional surrender of the Axis power of all the day, 8th of May 1945. Guess what? This is actually my birthday. And guess what? This Saturday of all the day, my birthday, they are now going to have 8% reduced to 5%. It's like really playing with my numbers. 8th of May, okay, May the 8th. So this Saturday, I think from 8% to 5%. So a lot of people complain that they can't celebrate Mother's Day. So let's talk about why this day is important, because the Allies accepted Germany's surrender about a week after Adolf Hitler had committed suicide. It's called the Victorious European Day, or VE, Victory in Europe, celebrates the end of Second World War on the 8th of May 1945. It's coming over 70 years. So this is a picture that show you that, okay, this is true, that it's not a fake or hoax or scam. And this is a newspaper at that time, okay, to show victory. So because of this, it's a turning point, guys, for the Set 4 student and Set 3. It's a turning point that changed the entire formats of what is going to happen after World War II. The relationship between the USSR, the United States, and the United Kingdom, all right? So let's move on to the next one. So when was the official list? So September the 2nd. So because the war ended on September 2nd, guys, you have to take note, in between got these two conferences before, okay, and then maybe after that, the actual one. So why 2nd of September, you have to understand, because after that, on 2nd of September, that's where the Japanese surrender after the atomic bomb for two places, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Okay, I only see Ethan camera on. Will the rest please on your camera if you can? Just see your forehead. I'm so happy, please. All right, don't mind, guys, please on your camera. So why did World War II last 6 years? So World War II began in 1939 as Germany invaded Poland. I say thank you, Hao Rui, thank you. It ended in 1945 after Japan officially surrendered. The war lasted for 6 years, and the war was lasted so long. Actually, it's way before that. If you want to take into account from this Japanese attack China, it's way before that, longer. But because it affected a lot of countries and officially started on this date, 1st of September. Okay, it was a world war for a reason involved. Okay, later we're going to tell you more of this one. I just go through all the slides here first. Okay, So the Yalta Conference and Post-Yalta Conference, which is what is the difference? Okay, so the Yalta and Post-Yalta were called to help the Allied forces to decide what should happen. So it's like they already know, somehow rather they already know that the Germany is going to surrender. Somehow they know that there is a possibility that the Germany cannot last long enough. And I believe the three countries knew that Hitler is a matter of time to either surrender or capture in actions or maybe commit suicide, whatever it is, right? So this impact of the Yalta Conference, why is it seems like it's a very short thing, and later I will show you a mind map, okay, a fact sheet, a pictorial ones will give you a better idea, okay, the Yalta and the Potsdam, okay. Now, by March 1945, it has been clear that Stalin had no intention keeping his promise regarding political freedom in Poland. So it's just a matter of time that Stalin has really have big ambitions that he will really want to take more territory. Three reasons for Stalin to do that. Okay, one is to expand the territory. Two is to expand the spreads of communism. And third, the most important one, okay, because they want to take as many Europe countries for the sake of economical purposes. And also they don't trust. Thank you, Xing Chen, on the camera. Thank you so much. He doesn't trust the Western Europe, so they want to do that. I just say thank you off the camera. Oh my gosh. Okay, so instead Soviet troops help squash. Thank you, sir. Help squash any oppositions. So he's just like poor Poland. No, Poland is just like how should I say? Yeah, first it was attacked by Germany, then Russia, and back to Russia again. It's just like what a football kicking here and there. It's like the Poland is like the husband, Russian is the mother, Germany is the wife. It's like sandwich between these two, or you can say like you're sandwich between your two siblings, or sandwich between two friends, or things like that. So yeah. Now remember the satellite states in Eastern Europe. It's very important. That's why I told you the expansion of Russia is very important. Three reasons. One is communism. One is to take as many territory to expand its military, and last but not least is for economical purposes. So many Americans criticized Roosevelt. At that time, he was very seriously ill during the Yalta Conference and died just 2 months after that. So practically, this poor young old man 这个 president 已经有病在身了，就是带病去 meeting 了。How much can he concentrate? And don't forget, he has to fly to that country, okay? And at that time, medical things, the economic airplanes, or not the functions of the planes or the environments. It's not like now. The airplane has a good seating capacities or things like that. He may not have the capacity and the ability with the capability of his health to travel all the way from US to there. And he may have jet lag, or he may have feel uncomfortable because of the medicine he took. Okay. And for the conference he made at Yalta regarding Soviet influence in Eastern Europe and Northern Asia. So at that time, Roosevelt is already, because he went through the war too, a lot of things, and internally, I think Roosevelt is the only president who went through two rounds of presidential elections. I think he has 12 years. Usually the American president is only 8 years. Okay. Sec3 student, for this Cold War, it's a bit dry, so I hope you can follow because this one, when you get to higher, the history get drier and a lot of fact that you need to remember. Okay. So after that, of course, Harry Truman took over. Then later you got the Truman doctrines and things like that. Now that's the Roosevelt successors. Okay, would be far more suspicious of Stalin. So because it's just like Donald Trump, very good relationship with this Doraemon, okay, Kim Jong-un. But when this Joe Biden took over, he's definitely not like Donald Trump. He may not be able to so-called respect the North Korean leader because of the nuclear missile, and he's like Barack Obama. He's very anti-communist country, and he doesn't believe in the true really negotiation skills that this Kim Jong-un North Korea who really want to put in efforts to cease fire and to stop nuclear productions. Okay, so it's just like this guy here, Harry. So what happened is that he already started to 你已经对那个人没有好感。So by going meeting, it's just like follow the motion, just for the sake of meeting. And already, if you have half-heartedly going there for the meeting, you already decided to you're going to have a lot of no, a lot of no, a lot of negative, a lot of rejections. Okay, so then the between don't worry, these are very worthy, guys. Ethan and Rayton. But later I'll show you the pictures later, which I did. Okay, so why I did it, because a lot of students, because to be honest, all four of you take note. Xingchen and Haori, your school will be tested on this. So far, I just roughly looked through and through my experience. I think one of the year came out this YATA conference of course, and it's only 8 marks questions. Okay, they so far won't compare this YATA and POS. Okay, these two. Okay, but I will do a comparison later. Okay, how we're going to use this? Why is it so important? Let me explain later. So what happened here is that will be found okay. Then after that, the big three go for this conference again in Germany to hash out the final terms at the end of World War II. But with his troops occupying much of Germany, Eastern Europe, Stalin was able to effectively ratify the concession he won at Yalta, pressing his advantage over Truman and Churchill, who was later replaced mid-conference by Prime Minister Kai. Wow. So actually, during the Yalta, Stalin was involved. During the Potsdam, Stalin was involved. But in the process, what they discussed, the before and after, there are two different president and prime minister. So Stalin, of course, will have an upper hand, will know what he wants, because because he worked with Churchill and Roosevelt during World War II. So 怎么讲，他们是有一个感情，有一个友情。But after end of World War II, these two prime minister and president is brand new to Stalin. Why should I give you means? Why should I listen to you? And furthermore, my soldiers already occupying part of the Eastern Europe. Okay, 我的同志们都已经为了牺牲 and take care of a lot of parts of Eastern Europe. Why should I have to move out of Eastern Europe? 我好不容易打倒 Germany, 好不容易拿下 Berlin, 我死了这么多兄弟，你叫我走掉。It sounds like very gangster, right? It's just like if like imagine 星辰。你是一个黑社会，我也是一个黑社会 ，OK？ So 星辰 you took over Toa Payoh, Ang Mo Kio, Bishan, okay? And then Brother, okay? And then what else? And maybe Novena, okay? Then suddenly I tell you, 星辰，你跟我滚蛋 ，okay? You must give up these places. I mean, you're not happy with it. You already have these so many places. You know, 你的兄弟也是不服嘛，你服也是不服。So this is something like very gangsterism, but in a nicer term, for example, you took these places, Ang Mo Kio, Toa Payoh, then you got, let's say I'm Starbucks, then Xingchen, you are Xingchen Cafe, Wang Wang Lai, okay? So you got a lot of coffee shop in all these places. Then later I ask you, say, hey, Xingchen, 你跟我滚蛋，你不要在这边卖了 ，okay? 我要买你的地。Of course, you're not happy, right? Because you already set out your base, you got customers, you got your already regular 老顾客 all these things. You will not be easily persuaded to move. Even 我给你再多的钱，你当然不喜欢 move. And people already enjoy your coffee, 天天来喝咖啡 that kind of difference. So it's the same concept in this real world at that time that Stalin, Ethan and Raisin. You have to take note. Stalin is already, before he fly to these two places, he's already very determined. You have to understand his background, how he get rid of Trotsky, how he make collectivization and industrialization. His aim is actually want to build Russian strong again. Okay, that's what he wants. So Churchill delivered a very famous speech about the Iron Curtain. This Iron Curtain, Xingchen and Harry, is about the war, the East and West Berlin War. Okay, so it's just like, sorry, this is very related present day now. It's just like I'm recently watching a lot of TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. People has been criticizing Singapore government. Wow, I wear mask, I 1 meter distancing, okay, I stay at home, okay, I keep to your 8%, and now because of you, government import so many foreigners come to Singapore, especially India, you all should block it, no? Should like an iron curtain like that, should prevent all the Indian people or China or Vietnamese, whatever people, stop importing people from coming in. Now you see, the Iron Curtain in East and West Berlin, they can do that because They already have the resources. They already decided know what to do. But don't forget, Yichen and Ruichen, because of this Iron Curtain, later got this Berlin blockage. Why later got airlifting, right? Yichen, right? The 没有东西吃嘛，你懂意思吗？所以最后没有办法，那个 Stalin 就乖乖的，Yichen，麻烦你哦，你叫你的飞机飞过来，给一点食物给我们吃。So 你可以想象如果新加坡 like now, sorry, what's the name speech Mandarin? You can just imagine that Singapore now lockdown prevent all the foreigners from coming in. Who is going to repair our roads? And you don't forget, Xingchen, every time you take bus to school or walk, you see in Singapore or Howrah, do you see that on the road 很多工人在做马路，对不对 ？Right？ 是不是？你可以挖那个马路，对不对，星辰？你没有出门的。When you go to take school bus, no, sorry, school bus. When you take MRT or walk to school, or you go out and walk, do you see sometimes got worker repairing the roads? 马路有吗？星辰有没有？你 just knock your head, yes or no? 有没有？ Can you hear me, 星辰 Hello, can you hear me, 星辰 So you know that there's people who repair roads. This because Singapore, a lot of electricals and gas and water pipes are all underground. Okay, so they have to dig here, dig there because sometimes wear and tear. Okay, so they know where to dig and open up. You know, when Uncle Raymond drive, I really very fed up. Every time I drive halfway, they'll say LTA doing something, or PUB doing something, or StarHub laying cables. So you realize in Singapore and in the other part of China or other places, all their cables are dangling outside. But all our cables and water pipes are all underground. Can you imagine one day Singapore were to go blast, a whole place would get. So that's why they have to dig and maintain all this infrastructure in Singapore. So there's no way that we have to stop foreigners from coming to Singapore. Unless Xingchen, Howrah, Yichen, and Ruichen, you don't mind take up your hammer, your spade, or your those machine or do something on the roads. Because we are not expert and we cannot stand under the scorching hot sun. You mean by so it's like relating to this Iron Curtain things. Okay, later I explain. So people, they block it. But the eastern side of Germany, the people cannot survive through because they are being restricted by the communism rule, their ideology. And the Western peoples are capitalists, so they have the best of it. So if Singapore were to adopt like the Eastern Berlin Wall and stop people from coming in, I tell you, we no need to kill by COVID-19. We'll kill by hunger, and then the infrastructure got nobody to maintain. 久而久之, all the infrastructure will go haywire. Okay, we need the foreigners coming. Then people say, why must them come in? We all cannot do the job, man. Yes, of course, but we do not have enough manpower. Let's come back to your social study, where this is called the aging populations and low birth rate. Okay, you cannot expect your mommy, daddy, or Uncle Raymond can do all those jobs. We are not expert in that. Okay, yes, there are Singaporeans who do throw rubbish or do other things, but this is what it meant. It means that we are not capable enough, a small country, to block it. So these Iron Curtains is like, you say, signaling a definite end of cooperations. Meaning that if Singapore were to lock down and also prevent border close down, you are telling the world that, sorry, in Chinese we call 至少门前雪. You know what is that, right, Xingchen? 至少门前雪. That means I only care for my own. I don't care about you. And now you have to understand, the Hari Raya is coming. Okay, we also got Malay things that we also have to import some of the Malay goodies from other countries like Malaysia and Middle East. Okay, because this is a multi-racial country. And then not forgetting, at the end of this month, we got Visa Day. So we also another thing, you see. So it's very easy for people to put nonsense in Facebook and criticize the governments. But we do not know. Don't you think that, you just like your parents are, guys. If they know outside, that's like when you're a baby that time. Your parents send you to inject, right, for BCG, for some other injection. Why? Because they know what is good for you. They know that it's very hard pain to see you go to the clinic and got injected and then you start crying. Then after 1-2 days, you got fever. Then after fever, you cannot drink milk, you diarrhea. But because this is an immune system that working on it, it's a very painful process, but your mom knows that you need to bring you to go for injections. It's the same thing like this Iron Curtain, this Cold War. Okay. The West, which is United Kingdom and US, want to talk to Stalin, say, hey, can we let Germany free? Okay, we should, okay, Hitler already surrendered. Just let them rule by themselves. Okay? Don't interrupt. Leave them alone. But on the other side, we just watch and see and help them. But Stalin refused. Say, no way, man, no way. Okay, it's just like I'm asking Xing Chen, please move your shop away or ask the Xiongdi. It's not that easy. If Stalin wants it, maybe his general or maybe his party member may disagree with him. So if Stalin were to give in to the Yalta Conference or the Potsdam Conference or to the Winston Churchill's or Truman's, okay, what happened, guys, each and reason? When he go back to Russia, he might have a coup. He might somebody against him. He might overthrow Stalin. The trust and the reputation when you go back to Russia, it's gone already. He might, just like the Nicholas the Tsar, or even like Trotsky, or even like who, you know, he just like you saw the CMC Cuban Missile Crisis, when this ex-president's can't remember his name, very hard to pronounce. When he gave in and said he didn't want to help Cuba, Castro, he decided to get out and go back to Russia. The moment he went back to Russia, that's the end. His leadership gone. He was being replaced. It's the same thing when Russia communism collapsed. Okay, Gorbachev, the last so-called leader of the Communist Party, collapsed, and Boris Yeltsin is the first leader of Democratic of Russia, surface up. So history tells you something. When you want to make a very difficult dilemma decisions, you have to look into many factors. So this Yalta conference or whatever conference, guys, it's just only to develop your brain cell to use the soul. Then how? Later I'll show you in the pictures. If you make a, 就像好像你下象棋啊，星辰你喜欢玩象棋吗？ You like to play Chinese chess? How Ray? You like 啊，一晨 ？Okay. So just like 象棋，你走错一步，好像 G 啊，还是车 G 还是炮还是马？那所谓是棋手不回，对吗？一晨。So you make a move, you cannot say, hey, sorry, can I take back? No. So you just imagine if Stalin were to deploy the soldier and then say, sorry, I move back. You're giving them a wrong impressions. Very simple. The whole countries, China moved the aircraft carrier, the battleships to 钓鱼岛 or to do something. Straight away, you alert the US, the Japan, the Vietnamese, all other countries. Hey, cannot, huh? Who are you to tell you that you can set up all these things here? Who give you the right? And you know all these islands are nobody claim one. It's not like China go to Jinmen, Taiwan, or go to Singapore, Sentosa to set up something, or go to one of the countries island nearby like Malaysia, Langkawi, or Penang. Then you say you're attacking the country. But this group of islands doesn't belong to anybody, right? 对吗, Ethan? Correct or not? It's just like Ethan, Hao Rui, and Xing Chen and Rui Chen. You go to hawker center, 对不对？你要买东西吃，对不对？有很多 empty seat， 对不对？ You know Singapore typical one, I cannot take it. They always use tissue paper to choke seat, right? You know, right? You laugh, right? You put tissue paper, put umbrella. How come? I always say, how come they don't put handphone? They use handphone to choke seat better, right? 路不拾遗嘛，对不对？ Don't laugh, As a policeman, I always tell when every time we do patrolling, you see people put their bag there. There's two possibilities, right? One is either a terrorist going to put bomb there, right? Or second is really your laptop is putting there. So when we are patrolling in outside, we always tell the people, hey, please, you don't believe, guys, you go to Starbucks, they always like to put the laptop there and then they go toilet. Then funny, then the policeman came, that time I was working in Starbucks, I said, hey, Mr. Raymond, how come your customer put the laptop there? Where are they? And this is someone during Christmas season. So they went to toilet, huh? No doubt the Starbucks got camera. But they are just very trust Singapore that no, nobody will take my laptop. You do that in Malaysia, good luck to you. Your laptop will be gone. So it's the same thing, guys. You choke your tissue paper, or you even put your pencil or put your bag, your school bag there. Then you and your 3-4 friends go and buy food. Then come back, you realize this seat is still taken by you. Nobody will take one. In Singapore, very natural one. When you see people put tissue paper, oh, this place is choked already. Very funny. You don't laugh. Got one time, I went to hawkers and food court. This lady put tissue paper. Then this lady came. You know what happened? He took the tissue paper and threw it in and sit there and eat. Then when the girl came back, he said, hey, excuse me, this is my seat. No, I didn't see anything. I put a tissue paper there. Oh, he said, it's yours. I thought nobody wanted. I throw away already. Wow, I tell you, the girl cannot take it. You cannot take it. You shake your head, Ethan. Because the girl who threw away the tissue paper, I'm no racist. From the way she talked, she's Indian. So typically it comes from India lah. So he doesn't know the culture. You know what I mean? So it's very funny. It's just like this one, you see. So like 钓鱼岛 like that, when China take the things and everyone start complaining, wow, what are you doing? And what happens if this is US taking the place? And what happens if Japan or Korea or Vietnam? How? Who are you to say who is wrong? So very funny, all these people. Okay, so let's move on again. So explain how Marshall Plans and Berlin blockage led to the Cold War 8 months. Okay, so we just read through first. Okay, so Ethan, can you read this paragraph first? This is to help you lah. So in case you have these 8-mark questions, you will ask you about Marshall Plans and Berlin blockage. So we will talk about this first, about Berlin blockage. Then Rayton, you will talk about the Marshall Plan. Okay, let's go.
The USA and Britain agreed to transport supplies into West Berlin by air, the only channel not blocked by Stalin. The Berlin airlift flew supplies into West Berlin for 11 months. The Soviets did not shoot the planes, as it may be seen as an act of war, and knowing that the blockade had failed, Stalin had no choice but to reopen the land and sea route to West Berlin. The Berlin blockade looked like Stalin was trying to take over the city. When the blockade happened, the people in West Berlin faced starvation. That's why the West decided to supply West Berlin by air. The crisis showed the competition and hostility between superpowers, which eventually ended as the Cold War by 1949. The Berlin blockade looked like Stalin was trying to take over the
city.
When the Berlin blockade happened, the people in West Berlin faced starvation. That's why the West decided to supply West Berlin by air. Is it repeated?
Yes, correct. Yes.
The crisis showed the competition and hostility between the superpowers, which eventually ended as the Cold War by 1949.
Very good, good in the sense that Ethan, you know that this part I did not put it purposely down. This one was not written by me. Okay, at least you can this note has been circulated since my student, my daughter's time until now. Not many will just knew that this is a repeat part. So why it was repeated? Actually, it's redundant. Okay, but this was written by somebody. I just cut and paste here. Okay, the crisis shows. So you see, realize that this West Berlin. So the aeroplane fly. Okay, what? You imagine I'm the general. Okay, I ask you, Ethan, you are captain. Okay, Ethan, captain, shoot the plane down. You shoot. Because bullet got no eye, right? Correct now. So imagine the plane fly, the bullet shoot. Oh, I don't know, because while flying to West Berlin, he passed by East Berlin, so I shoot. Then 刚好 shoot 了，他 drop 在 West Berlin 嘛，关我屁事啊，不关我的事嘛， it's not my fault, right? 对吗，Ethan? Nothing wrong. Same thing. Excuse me, don't laugh. Then you tell me, hey, uncle, you tell me this for what? 我管你什么 East Berlin, West Berlin What? China Great War 蒙古、内蒙古、Inner 蒙古北京、上海don't give a name, don't laugh. Can you imagine, Ethan? You stay in the landed property. Listen. Your house got one mango tree, okay? Okay. Then your mango branches tree cross over 星辰的家. Okay, 星辰. So then the mango 熟了，对吗，医生 ？Okay. Then the mango 掉在星辰的家。Then 星辰说，哇 ，I got free mango 啊，哇，shock 啊。You know what I mean? Then 医生就不爽了。Hello, what took me so many years to plant my mango tree? 啊，你就这样啊，什么天手什么羊啊 ，so easily take my mango. Then you go to next door and tell 星辰 hey, return my mango to me. 星辰 say, what? I didn't do anything, what? The mango just dropped in my backyard, what? Correct or not? Because that backyard is my property, I pay property tax. Why should I return the mango to you? So 医生，你怎么样讲？Will you 为了一粒 mango 你去 complain to police station, complain to the lawyer, bring it to the court case? 这么好啊？ Can you imagine every time your mango drop, 一实体粒在他的家 ？You cannot cut away your branches, right? You get what I'm saying, 医生 ？So now 星辰告你嘞，他告你什么 ？Say, 哇 because of your branches come over to my house he blocked my place Then your mango accidentally dropped onto my son's head My son cry in pain Now 医生，我要告你的 mango 跟你。You don't laugh But do you agree? It's something like this West Berlin, no? East Berlin, 明白意思吗？ Okay, how are you going to solve this problem, Harry? How are you going to solve this problem? If you are the judge, will you fine Yi Chen for the branches and the mango that hurts Xing Chen's son? Harry? Are you there, Harry? So what will you do, Harry? Are you there, Harry? Will you mind answer, please? Or Ray Chen? Or you can type it lah. If you don't want to answer me, you can type it. Like I say, I told you already, right? When you learn history, we don't just learn like that. We want to apply in real life. Then at least you understand. If I'm the judge for West Berlin and East Berlin, it's very obvious. I'm Stalin. Okay? If I don't let the airlift to West Berlin and give food to West Berlin people, you know, a hungry man is an angry man, right? East and West. So what happened? They will force themselves and turn over their guns against me. Correct? So same thing, East and wait, somebody send their thanks, guys. I keep the mango tree for myself as the judge. Wow, Ray Chen, well done. You keep the tree. Then Ray Chen fed up already. Yi Chen fed up already. Wow, this judge bias cannot. 我要告到英国女王那边. I want to take back my mango tree. Wow, then Ray Chen also not stupid You 告咯，这个是新加坡的 law 嘛，你怎么告？ You see? It's the same thing, you see. 公说公有理，婆说婆有理，其中道理在哪里？ So it's the same thing like the West Berlin, the East Berlin, Eastern and Ray-Chen, Hao-Wei, and Jing-Chen. How are we going to make this judgment? So let's talk about mango tree. Then I'll go through. Is a mango drop in the backyard? As a judge, you say that either Yi-Chen, excuse me, Yi-Chen, would you mind trim your tree? True not? You know, trim, just cut or Xing-Chen, can you please put a fence out the fence, you know, fencing, to prevent the tree from growing to the outside? Correct now. So what happened? They built a wall higher Initially, the 2 meter, 3 meter, that's why how the Berlin start to put barbed wire, put everything. But because starting that time, you all don't know how to solve this problem. Right? So Yi Chen, so one day you and Xing Chen 老了，做阿公了 okay, 公公了 now your son and grandson come in already. So your son saw you and Yi Chen went to court case just because of mango tree. So Yi Chen Jr. not stupid, right? He tell his wife, my father last time because of mango tree always quarrel with Uncle Xing Chen. So the wife say, how are you going to do it? Never mind, I got a plan. I reroot and take out the mango tree and plant to the other side. Can, right? They move the other side. Then it become the other house is Hao Rui house. Now the mango tree dropped to Hao Rui's house. Then Hao Rui is going to sue your son. 没完没了, right? It's the same iron curtain. He put here, do that. People fly Friday. So cannot take it. Ethan, your grandson cannot take it. Wow, my grandfather Ethan like that. My father Junior Ethan also like that. Cannot. I want to change. You know what happened? Your grandson very smart. He go to Hao Rei's house, go to Xingchen house. 我们和平. Can we talk terms? Can? 1月、3月、5月、7月 ，mango 掉在你家是你的。2、4、6的月份我拿，可以吗？你还给我。You get an idea? Correct now. So fair, right? Everyone happy, right? So what happened? Now, Hao Rei, the grandson, also plant rambutan tree. Xingchen now fed up, he plant durian tree. 哇，你满载而归耶！你有 mango, 有 rambutan, 有 durian. Beautiful.
So the durian drop on the child, the head.
But this time you smart. You purposely put one container there. Okay, then you put there, beware of durian dropping. Then you draw a cartoon there, durian dropping. Then your grandchildren will move away from there. It's the same thing, right? You know the iron curtain, they will put there, do not run over, shoot at sight. 你懂意思吗？那种 signage, 对不对？ It's the same thing, now you understand. Just like sometimes you go to Singapore, Macritchie running, then you see this is a state property. Okay, then they draw a person shooting at the other guy, right? Correct now. The signage, right? It's the same, guys. What you are studying now is actually the law. The law of what you are seeing there. Some people don't see this, thinking, what a bunch of bullshit, what is this? So what? You fight lah, then 不爽打咯，打到死就爽了咯。That's not the way to solve problem. You see, usually when they start all this kind of Berlin blockage or like the COVID-19, guys, so because it's very new to all of us, like they say every 100 years got this pandemic. So by the time Hao Rei, Yichen, and Xingchen, if there's another pandemic coming in 50 years time, you're already 60 years old or 50 plus like Uncle Raymond. It may be COVID-21 or COVID-30, for example. You guys know you already have this standard operating procedure. Or in 2019 to 2021, we have this problem. We show different steps, we show different measures. Certain measure work, certain measure cannot work. So we will use this word. So it's the same thing like this one. Why? Very simple. We're going to do this one. Wei Chen, your turn. Fair, everyone take a chance to read. By the way, those set 4 students, Ethan, I want to, sorry, Wei Chen, hold on. Ethan, I want to tell you when you are reading, remember for oral, you have to pause it. Let me read one sentence for you first. The US and the Britain agreed. 你看到里面有个 double E 吗？拉长那个音 ，agreed， alright， 不是 agree， 记住agree， 好像我非常的感动。拉长那个音 ，same as English, right? The US and Britain agree to transport supplies, double P 吗 ？supplies into 那进去里面，对不对 ？into West Berlin by air. If there's a R, there's a L. It's an S, it's a T sound, the T sound and the Y sound. 你要咬字, you must really bite the words. The only channel, you see double N, right? You don't say the only channel. 你不是阿兵啊 ？You know what is 阿兵啊？不是那些所谓的 so-called gangster 那种啊。The only channel not blocked by Stalin 不是这样读哈。Okay, brother, you must read like really a more style. See, the only channel not blocked by Stalin, and if there's the full stop, rest for 2 seconds, all right? And if it's the next paragraph, pause for 3 seconds. The Berlin airlift flew supplies into West Berlin for 11 months. The server did not shoot. You see, did not shoot, double O, okay? Can I, Ichan? Your turn. Thank you, Raisin.
USA contained the spread of communism through the Marshall Plan. US implemented the Marshall Plan in 1947, injected up to US 17 billion to help European economies recover quickly from World War II devastation. With European economies becoming prosperous, Western Europe could resist communist influence over workers in Europe as workers enjoyed better jobs and economic prospects and a better standard of living compared to that under the Soviet Union. As countries became richer, they would not turn to communism and With this approach, USA was able to contain the spread of communism in Europe. In response, the USSR came out with the Communiform and the Comecon. It was weaker as compared to the Marshall Plan, and it only benefited the USSR, not the wait, not the satellite states. This led to the USSR believing that USA was trying to remove their influence in Europe, and this led to the rising tensions and finally the start of the Cold War.
Okay, thank you so much. It's just like Yichen. So you're not happy with Xingchen, because the mango keep dropping in his house. You're very fed up. Then you tell your wife, wow, what is this? Then Xingchen, very kind-hearted person. Say, no lah, I just want to return, but he keeps scolding me. Then I don't want to return now. Then Xingchen wife say, no lah, no. So recently I learned how to do mango pudding. I learned how to do mango cake. So when he do already, Yichen, Xingchen and his wife bring the mango pudding and mango cake. Ding dong. Hi, Yichen and Mrs. Yichen. This is your mango. We made the mango pudding for you and mango cake. Wow, Yichen and the wife say, wow, thank you, thank you, thank you. Then how you know I like mango pudding? Your wife say, and then your son maybe like mango cake. You get it now? So this is an influencing to have a happy ending, 对不对? So what happened? Xingchen and Yichen and Xingchen and his wife don't want to give the mango pudding to you. Don't want to give your mango cake to you. He gave to Hao Rui. All right, he gave to Hao Rui. Anyway, Xingchen suddenly get out of the things. I don't know what happened. Okay. If person plants a mango tree and it goes into your backyard, you take the fruit that has fallen and plant another mango tree and let it go into a backyard. Okay, very good. This is what 你可以讲以牙还牙, okay? A 2 for 2, a tic tac, okay? But that's a good thing, a good sign. So this is the same thing like in the what do you call this Marshall Plan. They see they come out with a very good plan for it. Then the US also come out the plan, but the plan only benefit Russia, not benefit the Poland, the Yugoslovakia, the Bulgaria, the Belgians. Okay, so since then you did not lose anything. He was just reading at the chat group saying that if the person plant this, so maybe you did not see this. I just cut and paste to show everyone again. Okay, you are right, Ray Chen, that okay, it's a good deed. So actually what the US is want to duplicate to show that, we are actually very capitalist, we are very democratic, we want to give the Western countries to show that we are actually prospering, we are not controlling your daily lifestyle, we want everyone to prosper. But the USSR has a different agenda. He wants only that all the satellite countries to pay tributes to Russia. It's just like few hundred years ago, when the Tan Zhongye Mingqing, the emperors, when they attack other states and other small states or other countries, right? Correct now, is that 你玩三国志你知道的they want to pay tributes to the 皇帝什么1000个羊500只牛什么几千的金还有那个丫鬟对吗 something like that. But you keep paying until the state also, okay, I pay to you. But when I need protection, where were you? Sounds like 黑社会对吗？你交保护费嘛？你交了，等一下那个摊做云吞面， then 另外一个黑社会来 attack 你， then 你跑掉。So they are force fed out, you see. Whereas the NATO later, the NATO, later they signed the pact to protect the Western Europe. It's the same thing, right? Like Xingchen and his wife decided not to give the mango pudding and mango cake to you. He gave to Hao Rui. He said, wow, basketball. This is my mango leh. At least you give me a small piece, you give Hao Rui. Wow, you bypass me and purposely say loud. Wow, this mango was dropped by my neighbor. I now make mango cake for you. Wow, Ethan cannot take it. Wow, this one cannot take it. You go and find Judge Ray Chen already. Ask to settle for compensation. You get it? So now you understand, like the Russian people, okay, those satellite countries saw the benefits of those countries that benefit from this 17 billion to help the economy to recover. People are wearing Louis Vuitton bag or clothes, Chanel, branded goods, driving Mercedes, Lamborghini, eating well in spaghetti, Starbucks, all these things. Then suddenly the Eastern Europes are all very poor and they still have to give some of the share back to the Russia. Of course, you're not happy, correct, Ethan? right? Just the mango things, right? So I'm just giving a very simple example here. If this simple example, you can take it, means that, you know, you cannot take it, sorry. This is a big issue, leh. This involves millions of people in a country. It's just only a one mango already. Wow, Ethan cannot take it already. Wow, Ethan decided to, okay, 我跟你讲 either 我砍掉我的樱桃，不是樱桃树，我砍掉我的 mango 树，还是我搬家 I move to another place already. I don't stay here already. True not? It's the same. So what happened is that when the East Europe saw the prosperity, the progress, and the peace, and the luxurious item they have, they decided to run away from the eastern part of the block, to climb over the wall, to swim over, to fly over. You think it like to dig under the tunnel. Okay, 只要能逃脱那个 iron fist from the iron curtain, he will do it. So it's the same thing. So how? Then your wife will tell you, 医生，哎呀，老公算了啦 ，OK， 我们妥协啊，还是什么？ Or maybe we'll just suck thumb and just stay on and this and see how maybe a few years later, Xingchen will move out from the house or things like that. Then we have a new neighbor. Or maybe when Xingchen decide to move to the house, we can buy over the property. Correct now, since we are making a big ton of money, so we buy over the property. Xingchen might move to another place, so that property can give it to your next generation, something like that. It's the same thing. So the USS people was thinking and hoping that with this Cold War, they can slowly, surely, and definitely start to annex and take Western. But unfortunately, many years until today, even now they are open out. The NATO are still there, the NATO are still there. Okay, the Warsaw Pact are still there. Even the Russia now is democratic country. So you see, they cannot see eye to eye until now. It's just like a simple things. Sometimes we policemen will have to go, neighbor quarreling also. Simple things, slipper. You see my slipper run, especially when door to door, their two doors are very close. And then the slipper, and then worse, if next door got loan shark, while the paint pour over, things like that. Or even the laundry, the 你晾衣服那个水一直滴到楼下也 complain. So it's similar to this type of cases, Yichen, Ruichen, Haorui, and Xingchen, you know what I mean? So how are you going to solve this kind of problem? Yes, Ruichen came out with the idea is that I plant a mango tree, I give. So So if like my neighbor, my slipper put there, okay, I purposely planted the potted plant to divide the line. Hello, this is mine, this is yours. By the way, outside your house, the common corridor, it doesn't belong to you. You cannot happily plant your potted plant, put your laundry outside. Can you imagine your neighbor put all the laundry, all underwear, all the bra, all the panty? Wow, you're very superstitious. Cannot lah. What is this? How? And some even put one whole stack of newspaper, hogging. Then what happened? Got fire. All this is a very simple things. And back to this one. Can you imagine this is a world issue? Yichen, can you imagine the Poland, Ruichen and Yichen will know, right? Yichen, you know, right? Imagine the Russian point the missile all towards USA, point the missile to Turkey, point the missile to Italy. You're not happy, right now? So you also point your missile to them again. So point 来 point 去 point 到几次，燕何事了 What you call it? 燕家 I don't know what you call it. There's an idiom, right? Okay, so later we talk about the Korean War. Now, so we have roughly talked about these two plans. So now I just want to show you. Okay, the start of Cold War first. Then I'll show you the pictures. Okay. Because I'm having a split screen, so give me a minute. I'm doing my best to move my. Xingchen, what do you see on your screen now? Is it the Cold War? Okay, thank you, sir. Reason for the Cold War in Europe. So let's go through quickly because of your exam. So these are the two. Please take note of these two flags. Okay, very important. Okay. So between two superpowers, you know, you must use USSR. I think by now you should know. So it's 1945 to 1991, right after the war till the fall of Soviet Union. So it's a very long year leh. Okay, Yichen, you don't laugh. In Singapore recently, maybe you're too young. In was it Aljunied or Paya Lebar? Got these two neighbors, always they will have big spotlight shining one another. Okay, they just for the sake of spotlight showing, and then they put their things, their car cannot park beside them. Wow, they complain to the MP. Wow, it's a father and daughter, and the father is I think is very educated. The daughter study until master or doctorate. Okay, 头脑坏的. So there was this kind of cases. It's two family. Usually initially was two neighbor. Then it end up all the neighbors there against this. I don't know what is the name of the surname, Chua or something neighbor. So it's just like this is the one. Initially it started USSR and this, then slowly it ballooned all the whole Europe, and then it ballooned to Southeast Asia. And that's where you see Lee Kuan Yew was very frightened about the communism coming to Singapore. And that's why at that time in the 60s, 70s, if you are studying Chinese language, people might think that you are very communist, like you are very pro-China, you are not very Amor type. So the limitations, okay, things like that. See, that's a mindset. Okay. I told you before, right? Ray and Eason, you take note. Why Stalin want to take over Eastern Europe is three main reasons. First is ideology. You want to spread communism. After World War II, Stalin not happy, ma. Okay, Stalin why not happy? So for example, Yichen, you're planting a mango tree. Okay. Then when you're planting, when you're arguing with Xingchen, your neighbor stand one side, 隔岸观火, don't help you. Say, oh, 我跟他吵，你这样你在那边看戏啊，你不帮我啊。It's the same thing like Stalin, right? When he was fighting in Germany, okay, and the US did not come in and help, but they were fighting in France, the two frontier, you know, right? These are the things. So after the war ended, the US and the Soviet Union ties began to deteriorate. We began to see, especially Yichen and Ray, or how Ray and Xingchen take note, especially when the US dropped the two atomic bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Russians say, how come you got these things you never share with me? This is later on, they will go into what? The Star Wars. Not the Darth Vader, the R2D2 C3PO. The Star Wars, I'm referring to the first person to fly out of the space to go to the moon, the Sputnik, okay, where the Russians sent the dog, then later Louis Armstrong landed on the moon. That's the Star Wars. They want to go through, and this is how slowly, how Ray, your background will tell you the light coming out from the earth there. So this is like a war, nuclear war. Okay, the US capitalists, it's very straightforward. This picture tells you a very good idea. So there's an election, Democratic and Republican. So that's what US are, only two. Singapore got a lot of opposition party. And then this is a keyword. In the capitalist and democratic countries, you allow private, you 私人公司, all right? So you have the individual rights to do what you're supposed to do. That means you have the freedoms to buy your things. You have the freedom to walk on the street, even you want to wear funny clothing, or you want to put your headgear, you practice your religions, okay? But in a communist country, the election is, you see, communist uses communist, there's only one leader. And industry is state-owned. You have no right to own anything. Everything what you do is all the profit will go to the state, which is good at things like that is good. At times like that is good. Because then they will distribute out 所谓的一视同仁. Whereas a private one on top here, whatever you earn, the money goes to your own pocket. You can drive a Mercedes, a Rolls Royce. But the other industrial, for example, if your competitors also private limited, but unfortunately, he's not as powerful, as rich as you are, successful as you. Maybe he only drive a Toyota, okay, things like that. Maybe you can eat in the restaurant every day, you got helper, but that guy may not. You see the difference. Whereas the individual, everyone are equal, 一视同仁. For communists, it's a short term, it's good, okay, but not in the long term. So this is the US freedom. But because of this now, I just realized in COVID-19, countries that is like what they call communism. A lot of people say Singapore is like a semi or half communism, where everything also must follow quite listen to it, which is now you think about it. Is this communism rule saving our life? 70 years ago, communism doesn't seem to be working well when you see all your neighboring countries prosperous. But when it comes to pandemic, it seems like the communism like China, who also have to quite follow. If not, that's it. And look at US, who is very democratic and freedom, my rights, okay? I want to put mask or don't want to put mask, it's none of business. I want to die or don't die. It's very kind to say that with no social responsibility, and we are talking the most civilized, most educated, most developed country like USA. They become very selfish. They are very self-centered. 自以为我是. Well, whereas you see in China, it's like 同志们都是一视同仁, all are equals. I don't care whether you're rich or poor or whatever, but because now China's the ideologies is kind of modified. Okay, but we are still under the communism rules. So there's certain things to invent. It's just like Singapore. Even though they say Singapore is a democratic republic, but a lot of things, there's so-called people complain about restriction. You study social study, you'll know what I mean. Okay, it's just like where got my freedom? I can't stand outside and scold the government. If I want to scold the government, say anything about government, I have to go to Hong Lim Park to register myself and stand in the center of the Hong Lim Park and then say something. When I say something, the policeman also watching me. Cannot anyhow say. I can't even put, like, you know, Amos E, right? Amos E was saying Lee Kuan Yew, which sometimes is good. Can you imagine, Ethan, if your son or how Rui Chen and Xing Chen, if your son one day become prime minister, okay, and he did something very good, a lot of good things, but maybe one or two things that is not happy by the son. You cannot have a leader can please everybody. Agree or not, Xing Chen? 对吗? In a school, no matter how good the teacher teach, you'll still have 1, 2 students don't like him or don't like her. It's very nature one. Okay, even I'm teaching in my ex school, there's still students also don't like me. It's very common. So what happened? And then you see someone in the Facebook or what start criticizing your son, deface your son's pictures or things like that. Just like somebody defaced Lee Kuan Yew's photo. How will you feel? I mean, in US, you can do that to Donald Trump, put the Donald Trump picture in the toilet paper, correct? All these things, freedom of speech. But my question to all of you, where is the culture and respect? That's the thing, okay? So I give you some thoughts about this. I cannot take it. I will not allow my children, my next generation to do these type of things. It's very unethical. And I don't think it's fair, okay? If you don't like that leader, you don't like that prime minister, then go through a proper way. Vote him out. But not go and kill his family, go and put a bomb. This is a very coward act. Okay, to me, it's a very coward. So US was afraid of communism would spread to their country. And what happened? US helped the anti-communists. So it's kind of all this, you look at this, these are all very propaganda. This is where they think that because of communism, it will kind of eroded, E-R-O-D-E-D, eroded, 就是完全把它除掉，把它连根拔起。It's very sad. It's just like very simple. So Yi Chen, Hao Rui, Rui Chen, and Xing Chen, 4 of you stay in Bukit Timah. Bukit Timah is the Hwa Chong that side, Hwa Chong and National Junior College. You know that side of Bukit Timah are all very rich people, super rich one. Then 4 of you got bungalow house thing, okay, or bungalow house. Yeah, you stay there, you got a dog, you got a camera, maybe you got 1 or 2 security guards. Then one day, one of the neighbor moved in. Okay, move in. He played mahjong. He invited all the funny kind of different peoples. I don't want to say, I'm not sure about 4 of you. I always have this particular feeling when people see that person got a lot of tattoo, or like the whole body got tattoo, he must be 坏人, 排gang, gangster. Okay, 另眼相看. Is it tattoo must be bad guy? 星辰 no right? 现在每个人都有纹身了，对不对？不是纹身 Pokemon 不是纹身 Pokemon 不是纹身Frozen 不是那个 OLED 那个 Frozen or Let It Go Let It Go 那种纹身就是整个好像有龙有虎有什么 okay, but imagine that this neighbor that this new household moved in, then they got mahjong, and then got funny people in and out of the house. 4 of you, will you start to get suspicious of each other? Yeah, 现在你会吗? Right, you feel very uncomfortable, right? Especially that 4 of you got a daughter. Then every night after school, they have to walk past that house and go back home. What will you do, Xing Chen? Will you come out from your house and wait for her at the MRT station and then and then accompany her go home, right? True lah. True lah. Then imagine that your new neighbor always got outside people sitting outside and smoking, drinking beer. Then your daughter come back, daddy, outside just like I come home, I got see a group of people, our neighbor got a lot of people. So wow, then you cannot take it already. You either call your bodyguard, yourself, drive the car out and fetch her home. But how long can you do that, like Ethan and Sington? Right, Rayton, you want to type something and say something and how it. So this is the same thing. So the communism has been like that. They cannot take it. What happened? They started to distrust during the war already. It's just like the 4 years distrust your neighbor already. So every time when they come out, they see you, they say, hi, hello. Then you give that kind of look to them. Or maybe you don't bother to say hi to them. Then your neighbor say, hey, why this neighbor Xingchen and Harvey Rayton and Ethan attitude towards me? Then they start to have Cold War already. Get an idea? It's a very simple thing, you see. Then they start a Cold War, they get distrust already. Because you don't see eye to eye. You don't want to settle down and say, hey, 麻烦你哦，你可以不要叫你的朋友在外面抽烟喝酒这样哦。就说周末关你什么事？这是我的 this is my own house. I can do anything. Who are you? This is my landed property. Who are you tell me to do this? You see, then you start, oh my goodness. Then you say, then Harvey is a lawyer. Then Rayton is a judge. Then come, excuse me, under the law, you know, this. So if they can take it, they accept it, they follow. But internally, they song already. They're not happy. What happened? There's something like that, like the 3 or 4 of you, one more I haven't come up. Maybe that their neighbor is like Hitler, or he start bullying, or start to boycott them and things like that. So what happened? Delay already. Your trust broken away already. You all 4 of you praying, God, please, 搬家，快点搬走。星辰跟奕晨，你听过孟母三迁吗？听过吗？有听过孟母三迁吗？就是孟母她搬家3次给孟子，对吗？最后她搬去那个孔子的 nearby the school, right? Same thing. So finally, what happened? They decided to maybe talk about it and show, but they do not see face to face. What happened? You might get some detective to find, hey, can you check for me, this household? What the hell are they doing? Why sometimes got different people? Maybe sometimes you see different people because they rent out 3 rooms to maybe to construction worker, to nurses, or to renovation contractor and things like that because of the way they dress. Sorry to say, sometimes in life, including myself, I'm also want to get rid of this. 不是狗眼看人低. We look at people because of their dressing. Very sad to say, but dressing can tell a person. 好像国王的新衣这样, okay? So then they will have, you see, because Stalin say, you see, because of the second front was opened in 1944, then the US was delaying. So you begin to distrust your neighbor that because you open the back door behind, sell what? Otah, satay. Then you say, hey, hello, you got license or? How can you sell satay and otah at your backyard? It's wrong leh. You got the food and license or hygiene or? They say, 哎呀，最近生意不好嘛，我赚一点外快，你这种也要干涉 ？What you do? So it's the same things. Like the Russia say, hey, how come you go and attack that side? Yeah, supposed to help me. Why you go and do this? Similar case like that. Okay, see the way they sit. Please, I want the 4 gentlemen. Look at the way they sit. The eye contact. Okay, you can see this is Roosevelt, Stalin, and this is Winston Churchill. I can see the people beside them, all these things. You see the way they face, they talk. You see okay, not because Roosevelt leg is open so wide and things like that. And you see the Stalin, the hand crunching here, and Winston Churchill, the eye level looking at this guy and looking at Stalin. Okay, there was a book or there was a biography about these 3. This author writing about during the negotiation. This is very important for you when you are going for interview. Eye contact, and when you are look at Uncle's Raymond hand, please. When you are doing this, like that, like doing this, your hand like that, you are showing that you are nervous. Okay, you're showing you're nervous. You are like, okay, very nervous, sweaty palm. Look at Stalin. Why? Because he feels that he's not nervous. He's worried that these two clowns, what the hell are you talking, man? How come he's getting his interpreter? And where's his interpreter? Because these two can speak English, right? So you don't know. Can you imagine, Xingchen, Harry, Yichen, can you imagine two of your friends are Indian, okay? Yichen, are you there? Oh, okay, I see. Yichen, then the two Indian friends sit beside you, then they speak this, listen, then it's like, excuse me, can you be channel 5 or channel 8, please? Why are you speaking? You feel very uncomfortable, right? When your Malay friend or Indian friend speak their their mother tongue, and then they were laughing and then looking at you, you feel very uncomfortable, but which they're not looking at you. They actually look at you, yeah. That day, Ethan and I went out somewhere, and then we saw this Uncle Raymond, 他的裤子破一个洞，then 以为他们在讲你，所以说鸡蛋糕，做梦你看我笑我，你在讲我坏话。So this styling is a bit very uncomfortable. And you realize Roosevelt is in the center. He's like controlling. He's like he don't want Stalin. He's like want to control the situation. And Winston Churchill, in my opinion, you see the way he's like, hey, who are you, man? Things like that. So this is the pictures that really, if you want to find out more, please go.
Raymond,
Yes, hurry.
the screen froze.
Is it moving?
No.
Huh? The screen froze. Where are you now? What's the screen?
The Cold War.
Huh? Oh, thanks. Because I'm still. Oh, thank you. You're lucky you tell me. No?
Yeah, got it.
The three gentlemen?
Yeah.
Wow, lucky you tell me. Because just I bought a new Lenovo tablet. Okay, to pamper myself for this Saturday birthday. So my wife was not very happy. So 你已经有这么多电脑，为什么买这个？说这个我自己用的吗？我晚上我可以改我的学生的卷子在这边 PDF format 吗？我不用拿这么大的电脑，我可以在床上这样一面看一面改，还是我在出去的时候我可以看那个e-news 在这边，因为我老花，我不要看这么小的电话。My phone is so small. I want to see big screen. Excuse lah, okay? Excuse, okay? Okay. So sorry. Just now you saw, right? I got this echoing, so something wrong. So usually I use the other laptop, but this laptop very slow, so I was testing out, but because got the sound. Okay. So you can see the way they sit, the way they see the hand gesture. When you see someone hand crunching like that, usually it's not confidence. Guys, if you are going to poly, you will have this course called grooming courses to teach you how to sit, to talk, to shake hand, to present yourself during interview. Very good. It's only your generation had this. My generation don't have all this. We went through the hardcore. We went through the real life in the real world when people look at you and talk to you and tell you off right to your face. Can you please shake your bloody hand properly? Are you have the firm grip? Things like that. Okay, so very sad. Okay, are we moving? Can If you are free, so tell me. Thanks, Harry. So Yalta conference is agreed that Germany was to be divided in 4 zones. 4 zones, Why not 5 zones, 6 zones, 10 zones? Well, straight away, our dear friend Stalin not happy already. The Allies agreed that the Nazis was war criminals, was be brought down. Okay, fair enough. The Allies agreed that USS would help US to fight Japan in the Asian Pacific. Yes, it did. Listen. But certain parts of the islands near Russians was finally taken away by Russia. Can you imagine that these islands wearing kimono, but flying the Russian flag and speak a bit of Japanese and Russian? Poor thing. Until today, however, the Allies disagree on free elections. However, the Allies disagree on free election in Poland. Why? Hold on. US wanted Poland to have free elections, but USS wanted Poland to be under. Who went out already? Ethan went out. Okay, wait for Ethan for a while. Recently, the network connection is also very poor. Like this 3 days, I'm having a Zoom with my SMU lecturer. So halfway through, during my presentation, also cut off. So hold on for a while, okay? Just hold on. If you need to get some water, go ahead and get some water. Okay, Eastern is in. Okay, good. So, however, the Allies disagree on free election, but the US wanted Poland to have free election, but the USA wanted Poland to be under their
So
control.
what did I mean?
No, I saw you out, so we paused for a while first. So I asked them to wait for Ethan come in, then we continue. So okay, let me repeat the last one. I say, see, they disagree the free election. Actually, it's not true. They actually want to, but these allies referring to the three countries, USSR, USA, and UK. But you see, US want to have free election. Russia say no, 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 no. I'm taking over. You shut up. This is my control. Then the two countries, remember these two guys will say, huh? So you can imagine Stalin cannot speak English well. And where is the, you're supposed to have one person standing beside. And this guy, Harry, my mouse is moving to this guy, isn't correct? Can see, and this guy, all these people, and this guy maybe is a Russian guy. Okay, to interpret. Maybe his English also may not be good. I'm just assumption only. So can you imagine you are sitting with two friends, two Indian friends or two Malay friends who don't speak your language? You feel very uncomfortable. In the first place, you already distrust these two persons. And someone, if they speak English, you even cannot take it anymore. He might think that he's talking about behind his back. Okay? And you can see the way he laughs, smile, might not be genuine. He might be eavesdropping, and you see the way the position is leading like that. But you look at Roosevelt, the way he sits, very comfortable, very elegant, very relaxed. He's like he's controlling the whole situation. And seriously, you see the leg when he opened like that, it's not because he got whatever in the center. Okay, he's very comfortable. He's like, hey, not very relaxed and very dominating. When you see a person sit like that, it's very dominating. And you realize you see Stalin, the leg one in, one out. Is he preparing to go away or what? And see, Churchill is a British guy. You see the way he sits, very gentleman. And you want to know what is the outcome. Because he involved a lot of things, because he's near to Russian. US has nothing to lose. He's one ocean or two oceans away from Russia. So no big deal. Even though on top of the Russian and US, they get Alaska there is very near to Russia, but they don't care. Okay, so this is what I meant. So the Allies disagree on Germany. What I mean by disagree later? Wanted Germany to recover, but US, you see, wanted Germany to remain weak. You see, realize that is the things. Come back to this picture again. This picture can tell a lot of things. And then later on, you see another picture from there. This one. Okay, see, look, this one, US, UK. UK means Great Britain, Ethan and Rayton. When I say United Kingdom, there are four countries, England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. That's called United Kingdom. You don't, and also you can call it Great Britain. All right. So it's UK. Don't call England. We call British, yes, but because it's in England. Okay, so let's come to this. The same thing again. You see, same thing again. The US sitting here, this one is the British, and you see, same position again. Same, the more the US still stay in the center, and you see the way they cross-legged. A very elegant man. This time Stalin opened up the leg already. And this time you see the hand, different. And this time, this guy, you see the hand put like that. He's very worried already. I mean, of course, you are a leader, you can sit whatever you want, you can put your hand whatever you want. But you can see the difference, the position he sits. Seriously, you don't believe in me, you please be observant in real life and see how your friends sit during oral, talk to teachers, and then if you see their hand put behind their back and then start doing this, or fidgeting, you know he's nervous, or even do this. You know he's very frightened. This is a little posture you can tell, okay? Okay, okay. Then let's agree to okay. This is in February. They are stated here. Okay, and this is where few months later, because after that our dear friend gone already. These two gone already. This one died. This one was thrown out, and then a new one came in. Okay. You see, after that they could not agree. Okay, the four zone, same thing again. It's only different by 5 months apart. And you can see after the 5 months, big thing changes. It's just like now is in May. Can you imagine in October, 5 months later, will Singapore COVID-19 getting from bad to worse become a circuit breaker? Or cannot, October cannot be circuit breaker like Hao Rui and Rui Chen. But Yi Chen and Rui Chen, October is your O level, huh? Correct? Oh, cannot. I don't think you want circuit breaker on that month, touch wood. True. Because last year, very poor thing. All my Set 4 students really has been short-changed because of they do not have mid-year exam. When they came to July, their mid-year exam, all these are very cramped. Even though they took out one topic from every subject, it doesn't do justice for them. Very poor thing. So, and seriously, when they go to poly, they have a hard time. Okay, but I really respect those people who take PSLE last year, Set 2 streaming to Set 3, and Set 4 ON and A level and NT level, and those people were taking degree. I really respect them. They have a hard time. Seriously, they will never forget 终身难忘. Okay, it's just like this conference like that. Whoever lived through that period, you'll know. You see, the difference in this really led to US to believe that US wanted to keep USS up. You see, from this meeting itself, Stanley is very confident that he has all the trump card, 他的黄牌在手上的. Because you know why? Very simple. When you negotiate with this group of people, 他们已经不在了. So now these two are the new bird. 他是那个 they are two greenhorn. But these two never give in also. Because this guy is not he may be born last night. No, he may be born at night, but not born last night. So he already have this bad impression of Stanley. It's just like Joe Biden. Even though he's just a president recently, but he already knows the history of Kim Jong-un, the North Korean leader. So no matter how, he won't be like Donald Trump to talk terms with that North Korea. He will wait踢翻他了. Okay. So you see the difference now? This one is very good now. Okay, argue about the details. You see, first was 4 big. That's before which one? 8th of May 1945. Take note, before Victory Day in Europe, where Germany surrendered. After Germany surrendered, 哇，不一样了。他这个 Stalin 吊起来卖的。Before that 没有办法 Stalin shut down. Okay. Listen, yeah. Okay. Okay. Let me think about it. Okay. Must pay reputation. Oh, okay. Must unite, Okay. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how we settle Germany first. Free election. Okay, can, everything can. But Russia will help against. Okay, I will do my best. You attack the Southeast Asia, I attack the other side of Japan. Okay, I agree. Then after the war, you see different already. When Stalin took over the whole of Germany, wow, the table turned around and talked differently. It's just like you are the 4 bosses, guys. You employ a operation manager, all right? Xing Chen, Yi Chen, Hao Rui, and Rui Chen. So he interview this guy coming. 老板，Xing Chen 可以，我什么都可以做的，可以，很好。Okay, sorry. The 4 of you open a restaurant, okay? 你请那个厨师来。So 那个 chef 挑你，星辰我可以煮什么都可以。一晨没问题，我可以叫我的徒弟来帮忙。瑞晨没问题，我可以每天做给你的，360天我都可以做给，新年我都可以煮给你。浩瑞不用紧，你开另外的餐馆，我会教那个徒弟的，教那个厨师。Then after 1 year later, wow, he became very stuck out, very different. He will tell you,星辰 sorry, either increase my salary or I have certain percentage of share. If not, sorry. I'm not going to work for you. I'm going to resign. Did you get me? In real life, it's like that, right? True enough. So Stalin is like that staff who go against it. Well, I thought that time you discussed, okay, now see, Truman was angry because Stalin had arrested the non-communist leader of Poland. Non-communist. So that means, it's just like, Hao Rui, 他跟你讲说他要 train 你，or 义成他说要 train 你一个 because 你要开分行，对吗？ Say, okay, I train already, you know what happened? He opened another restaurant beside you, Xing Chen, were you fed up? 他把你一般的顾客抢走了。Okay, 星辰就会打电话给 Uncle Raymond。Uncle Raymond， 你叫兄弟下来，帮我干掉他。开玩笑Okay, so this is something in real life. Okay, you can do this in Hong Kong, maybe, or Vietnam or Cambodia. Singapore, don't do this. Singapore, law by law, okay? So America and Britain were alarmed because the communists were coming to power. So cannot take it. So can you imagine, okay, can I call the four of you 四大天王? Now your chef, 变本加厉, getting from bad to worse. He's decided not only to open the shop beside you, he took some of your staff over, some of the customer over, okay? And never mind, and then he get the best designer, and also the designer who design your Facebook, all these things, also design the best brochure, and it's cheaper than your marketing material. Wow, I tell you. 你们吃得下吗，奕晨? You cannot take it, So what you do? You go over and take the knife and kill him, a butcher knife. 鸡蛋糕，你真是忘恩负义啊 True now. So Truman dropped the atomic bomb in Japan. So this is the one where Stalin was very furious. So the four of you 四大天王, you also not stupid, right? 你也是有王牌。你做厨艺，我做食物you took over my customer, right? You took over my business, you took over my stuff. Never mind. You know what happened? You all are working in a shopping mall. So it happened the four of you know the shopping mall big boss. Okay? Well, this time you tell your friend, hey, brother, you are my good brother, right? Yeah. Okay, I tell you what, you know this chef who took over my business? Yeah. Wow, very too much then. Wow, then your friend not happy, right? 他要帮你打抱不平。Okay, 星辰，不要紧张。你的租金我免了1年，我不要跟你收租金。哇，星辰、奕晨、瑞晨 how very happy. Wow, thank you. 不要担心 ，next year 我加他们的租金，我逼他们走。哇，星辰 the rest of you very happy. Hey, thank you. 好，可以。So this is what happened. When Stanley was saying, hey, how come you got all these things? So Truman and Britain and other countries decided to have later what you know is called the NATO. So that's why they came up the plans from that, okay? Very interesting. You see, can relate it in real life. Because of this, you see, because 星辰、奕晨、Harry and 瑞晨，你们这个四大天王，你们有一个黄牌 you got a trump card, you got a secret weapon. Or should I say, fortunately, you have this secret weapon. But very unfortunately, the chef who betrayed you, he doesn't know you got a secret weapon. Okay? So in life, sometimes it's not in business, it's very 奸猾狡诈. So in business world, sometimes you have to know your strategic plan. You must plan well. You must create this 孙子兵法 out of war. You must know which general to fight what kind of terrain. If you ask a general to fight in the water, but he's good in horseback, you're telling the general to go seasick already. If a general is good in water warfare, you go and ask him to ride the horse. Before he can ride the horse, he fell down already. All the soldiers laugh at him. Walao, what kind of general is this, man? If you know this chef that you have is very good, but you ask him to do marketing, there's something wrong with your head, man. True now. So this is what I meant here. So these are very good pictures, you see. This picture depicts a very, very simple things. That is, okay, the USSR want to control everything. And this is Xingchen, do you know what is this? Do you know who is this guy? Who? My uncle. My uncle. Who is this guy? How you call this? Wait, Ray Chen, who is this guy? How you call this? Can somebody type something? Oh, okay. Never mind. I share with you. Yes, correct. Well done. It's called Uncle Sam. Then I got student ask me, I closed the thing already. I'm so sorry. Hey, Uncle Raymond, why you call Uncle Sam? Why Ray Chen? Hurry, Ethan. Why not Uncle Xingchen, Uncle Ethan, or Uncle Peter, Uncle Michael, Uncle Michael Jackson, or why Uncle Sam? Take the first alphabet of these two words. It's called US, right? Now you get it? It's called United States. So this is called Uncle Sam. Somebody typing something. Sorry, I cannot see it. Yes, US. Thank you. Okay, but honestly, I prefer. If you ask me, I don't want to draw this bear as honey bear. If I were the artist, I'll draw this bear as a polar bear. Okay, polar bear. Then I'll draw this as a honey, the pot of honey. I will draw this as a honey bear. This is a polar bear. Polar bear refer to Russia. Then the honey bear will be the Yogi bear, refer to USA bear. Then I'll draw a pot of honey, and then I'll distribute maybe a big pot of honey, but I want to distribute to many countries, but I will not put USA. I will put as, I will not put USSR, I'll put as USA. Then you realize that they change this. You see, this is a bear, but you put Uncle Sam very small. This is Uncle Sam and put the bear as Russia, you see, Russia like that. But I will change the pictures as if you put a pot of honey, will be better. So this is my plan, this is my idea. Okay, why? Very simple. It's just like we are doing marketing. If you are selling a handphone, so they got this I don't know you all heard, no? This old man went to the handphone shop and say, Xingchen, can you check for me? Is there something wrong with my handphone? So Xingchen, expert in handphone, check. Call. But Xingchen don't want to sell handphone. Okay, I'll ask Yichen. Yichen. Then say, Yichen or Xingchen. Uncle Peter is about 78 years old already. 79 years old. Okay. Going to celebrate his 80 years old birthday next month. Then he say, hey, 小弟星辰，你是老板呢？为什么我的电话是不是有问题？ Then 有星辰 check。Uncle Peter 你电话没有问题嘞，可以打可以通。Then you know what he say to you? You know what he say to you now? How come my children never call me? They forgot my birthday next month. He said, wow, very touching, right, 星辰? Well, then you cannot take it already. 不用紧 Uncle Peter 你下个月来我的店我跟你唱 Happy Birthday to you 好吗？我全家人跟你在，还有我找那个左邻右舍来跟你一起唱，然后on that day birthday 我们每个打电话给你哇 then Uncle Peter say 哇小弟老板星辰谢谢你So sometime in life what you study like history all this we are talking about emotion. Yichen LOL. Hey Yichen, this one this example is not for me like Yichen. I watch this in TikTok, okay? Every night without fear 12 o'clock, I watch TikTok about half an hour. Then my wife say I sell. But I learn a lot of things from TikTok and other this way, Instagram, okay? So now I would like to Ray Chen or whoever, please, I would like to stop this part here. The reason is because I want to show this a very important slide in my opinion. So I'm not sure whether you think it's important. What do you see here? Do you see a whole thing here? Ray Chen and Yichen. You see the whole thing? The whole part. Okay. Let's see. You see, look here. Ray Chen and Yichen. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And Harry. You realize I divide this into two. Okay. Don't worry. If you want to need this, you can find in the Google Classroom. But let me explain to this. Got a few minutes to go. So if you got problems studying in words, you can draw this in picture. Okay. So this is how I teach. So first is use a so, then how. You see? So, then how. So, okay, let's start on the YATA conference first, okay? Can Yichen? Can Can Okay. So YATA conference is February 1945. Then they got three leader. US president, this and this and this. So these three was talking about what? Talking about then at that time, this three president is talking about to divide Germany before end of World War II. Okay. I agree. I'm going to divide into 4 parts. Then the 3 leaders have friendly relationship but different view how post-war Europe should be. So imagine the 4 of you want to set up a business. Before you start a business, you say, okay, you all agree. So 4 of you also agree want to set up a business in Bukit Timah Hawker Center or Bukit Timah Shopping Center. Then 4 of you agree, okay, can. Then they okay, you say, okay, can, but then maybe how Ray say want to do in the basement. Ray say no, rooftop better. 可以中秋节可以看月亮。Then 星辰讲说I think we beside the supermarket better. Why? Because after supermarket they hungry, they can eat there. Then 一晨 say 不要 I think we better beside the Gong Cha there. Why? Because after finish eating they can buy dessert from Gong Cha. Okay, so all got different opinion, different ideas, but all the 4 of you agree that you all want to set up a restaurant in Bukit Timah Shopping Center. So apparently, in fact, of this starting point, they paved the way already. It was apparent that the wartime, okay, so the four of you agree to set up your restaurant in Bukit Timah. But inside your heart, the four of you cannot see eye to eye already. Okay, because it may not be influenced by you. Maybe your wife or your parents or whoever tell you, no lah. I think your three partners 没有远见儿子你的眼见比较好 I think that this one is good. Okay, so it linger and finally there's an empty space to build the restaurant already. So the four of you go and see the place already. So February we were talking about having a shop there. Now you finally have a shop already. Okay, so that's why Germany lost. The second time, was it successful? So first time you're talking, okay, now you got the empty space already. So the same 4% of you there, you see? But maybe this time, maybe Xing Chen, Yi Chen, and Hao Rui don't want already. So you tell Rui Chen, sorry, Rui Chen, I think we don't want to continue to get the place. Xing Chen say, I decided to migrate. Then Yi Chen say, sorry, my wife asked me to help my parents-in-law. Then Hao Rui say, sorry, my capital has invested to buy 2 landed property already, so no money, not enough money. So Rui Chen no choice, right? Rui Chen continue and look for 2 more or 3 more partners. So these 2-3 partners might have the same idea like the other 3. Say, hey, I think we have to buy this. Then Rui Chen say, no, I prefer this. So saying Stanley has instilled a new communist. His idea has changed totally. He decided to say, no, look, these 3 partners, if you want to join me, you follow my ideas. So negotiation did not proceed as smoothly as it is. So there's only 2 choices, Rui Chen. These 3 partners might continue with you, or these 3 partners decided not to continue with you. He pay pound with you, Rui Chen. He opened another few restaurants beside you, up on top of you, below you, whatever, or next building to you. So now you begin to say, wow, my ideas is being stolen by the 3 partners. How? So you see, the 3 leaders have different ideological difference and the relation between the Russians and the Western. So now you begin to make a war already. You might decide to send a spy. Hey, go to the restaurant and taste. Is the food nice or not? Hey, go and check their price. Good or not? Hey, go and check their service good or not? Then this is how it is. So how is that the impact after good? So at the end, 真的是赔了夫人又折兵. Whatever it is, Rui Chen is really no. Okay, just example, don't get angry at Rui Chen. Okay, so Rui Chen, so how? Rui Chen decided not to do anything, and then go back and plant mango tree lah. Okay, so this is the pictures that I want to show you. So in case, to be honest, why that time I forgot about the other conference. I don't really talk much about this too, but I find this conference is the bloody waste of bloody time. When these things is, you see, it's already said, wow, talk until so much, plan until so much, at the end, all don't agree. I end up I have to do something about it. What is this, man? I cannot take it. I decided to do this. So you see, all these things that the conference and whatever it is. Okay, can I close it? I can, if can I show a thumbs up if you want this to be put in Google Classroom? If not, I can't be bothered. You want to use the picture or your thumbs up? I leave it to you. You want the picture? Thank you, Rui Chen. How Rui? Yi Chen, okay? Xing Chen, you want also, right? Okay. Yi Chen, okay? Okay, so I put this in a PDF format in the Google Classroom. So you can see this conference actually implies in our daily life. Tells you that when we have a meeting, we must have a very solid plan. Okay, 4 of you, I forgot to add one thing. It's very important. I'm going to type this. It's called negotiation. You understand? Remember the Treaty of Versailles. The negotiation failed because of what? Germany, right? Then you know that because of the Treaty of Versailles and then League of Nations, a lot of things also failed. So what happened? Now, through a past experience, they don't want to let history repeat itself. So as a result, they decided to look into many ways to prevent that this treaty or this plan, especially for Stalin, he knew it, that he cannot fail. His hard work will gone to waste if he don't want to insist and he have a hard negotiation to tell them off, so that he can get what he wants. Okay, for the Sec 4 students, in case you need to write down, this Yalta and Potsdam's conference is actually a testing bed, BET, bed, a testing platform for Stalin to test out the leadership quality of the past and the present, which is the Roosevelt, Truman, the Churchills and all this, okay? This negotiation helps Stalin later on to have a better stage to showcase that, Russian is a country to fear. Don't mess with me. Why? Because at the back, you still got China and North Korea. Now you get it? Because of this conference, everything, China and North Korea look up to him as a big brother. That, hey, we don't need to kowtow to bow to the Western ideology. Hey, we can survive through this. Hey, we have someone to back up. You see, 单枪匹马，他就可以把整个 East Europe 拿来的。哎，我们也是可以做到嘞，没问题。So that's why the North Korea start to change to take over South Korea. Okay, China decided to take Vietnam, all these things. Nothing wrong, It's the same concept, gentlemen. You're like running a business. Okay, all you need to do is, like you see from this history itself, you really have to sit down like sales and marketing, business developments, okay, your finance department, your human resource. Human resource is like recruitment, right? You recruit the best workers, the best generals, the best soldiers to run, just like Hitler. It's the same thing in war zone, and in business, it's also a war zone. It's how you perceive it, how you see it. So in the conference, guys, the four of you, after you graduate from your university, when you go out to the real world, people are coming, hey, Isana, come, let's go for a meeting now. Then your boss will tell you, you don't say no, right? So boss, where? We are going to Shanghai for a meeting. So let's come. So, Rayson, tomorrow you're going to fly to New York. Okay, we're going to have a meeting. We're going to close a $1 billion sales. 先生，听说我们要收购那个 bank so tomorrow you're going to get ready all your best staff to come in for this meeting. Hurry since you are now a major in the artillery, you're officer, your next promotion to lieutenant colonel or to become a 3-star colonel depends on whether you want to deploy to Afghanistan for peacekeeping. So are you ready or not? Wow, big project, right? Why I tell you, because my friends, my classmate, during the Gulf War, he's one of the Singapore artillery. He was posted there, and after he come back, he's now one of the big shot in one of the company here. After he retired from his army, why people will say, "Wow, why Singapore all get army? Other countries also get army in general." Because you know why? In military, we are talking about 3D. You are devoted to your job. Okay, you have the desire to succeed. You cannot fail, and you are a very disciplined person. That's what Stalin has this. So that's why history taught us this. Seriously, don't look at history just for the sake of studying and memorizing and get A1. And sorry, it doesn't do justice to the four of you. You must know how to apply, to imply, and to supply. You must apply your knowledge. Then people will fool you, because you imply, you show your knowledge, correct or not? Then 你说老板你很厉害嘞，你会做，你会讲 ，show me then you supply your knowledge 来，你看我做给你看了，我可以做你为什么你不可以做 ？Right? Just I'm working in a restaurant now as an attachment. I asked my supervisor, 我说大姐，我要去 shopping， 他以为我去 shopping 就是真的去逛街，说不是，我的 shopping 是丢垃圾嘞，我叫做 shopping 哈，没有啦，不用啦，你是来学习哇？我就问他 ，to run a restaurant 是什么大大小小事都要做吗？是啊，连丢垃圾也是不是其中一个事啊？你读到这么高，你来这边 attachment 不要，等一下弄脏你衣服嘞，这样不对嘞，要一视同仁吗？如果我要做一个 restaurant manager in the future， 我要懂得怎么丢垃圾吗？人家才服我，对不对？A good leader must set example. And Stalin set it a good example because after Stalin retire or die, the next leader got problem. Wow, my goodness, my predecessor leader is so strong. Cannot, wow, I must be better. It's just that your grandfather is the top people in your life. Your father also has to set a quality. And then when your father set a quality, you as a son also must set a good quality. That's how your children follow. Okay? So this is today's lesson. Next week, I don't know. I will still talk about Cold War. For this whole month, it's about Cold War, Korean War, CMC. So Rui Chen sorry. Xing Chen and Hao Rui. Okay? If you have some topics that you want to talk about it, okay, I think Yi Chen and Rui Chen don't mind to learn also. But if you all do have different topics, that certain topic you're not sure. By the way, I asked you, how rate your test over already?
Yeah.
Over already, huh? So which topic you're covering now?
We just started Hitler.
Okay. So just like that, I finished Hitler for you already, huh?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, 星辰呢？考完了吗，宝贝？
Just finished Hitler.
The whole topic Hitler finished already.
Oh wait, no, like mostly it's revision right now.
Test 过了吗？ Is the test over already?
Not yet.
Not yet. So you can go through the notes I give you. Okay, the history notes. So if you need any questions for history, just ask your mommy to WhatsApp me or WeChat me. Then I will show you tons of whatever notes. Same as you are, Harvey. Whoever need any extra notes, please go to Google Classroom and search for it. I think I put one slide there, right, Rayton or Ethan? You request to have some notes there. I already put one slide inside Google Classroom already. So please go ahead. Okay, please. Don't need to worry if you're 11:45 p.m. You need to send me, I will do it. Okay, but tomorrow, in fact, I'm going to Tuas Link. 那个地方鸟不生蛋. Okay, but don't worry. If I'm bringing my tab or what, you need to, because my information are on my laptop. Okay, so if you need to immediately, I come back home, I download for you. So in case you need information tomorrow, I need to come back at 6 o'clock. But other days, you can tell me, okay? So please do not stop learning from there. Any questions like like the day you send me the questions, no matter how busy, history is my top priority. I will put everything and do my best to help you, okay? But then again, guys, if you need to request for a bit of help on social study, please also let me know. Because social studies skill, we are talking about structure response questions. It's totally different from SEQ. So please take note of, be careful of that. Because if that one you do wrongly, good luck to you. Yes, of course, of course. In fact, next week, I also want to go through CMC and Korean War. It's also just now in my slide there. That's why it's called Korean War, right? I also want to show you a lot of pictures. So, but don't worry, Ray Chen, this is not stopping here, 4 of you. For the Sec 4 students, definitely, if you continue, I will definitely help you. I'll show you a lot of things there, okay? But sadly to say, not your, I'm just very worried for those of students who are classroom. I'm very scared that end of this month, there's got circuit breaker. So far, no news is good news. Okay, don't worry, Ray Chen. I will definitely not try or do my best to share all these things, okay? So thank you, class. Thank you very much. See you guys. Bye-bye. Next Wednesday, same time. Hey, wait. Next Wednesday is Hari Raya Eve. Correct or not? Hari Raya Eve. Okay, but I don't know, my relative are calling me back.